Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and let's get ready for EJ Boxing Live.
Yo, what's going on, people? So we're gonna do a history, do some history right here, and of three of the greatest fighters ever to lace up the boots, and show that there's some similarities in terms of the same sort of personality, even to the point, yeah, that you could even say, yeah, that these guys are reincarnated. 300 years of history between each other. You have Tom Molyneux, you have Jack Johnson, you have Anthony Joshua. History repeating itself. Telling me, ask me. History repeating himself. Look at Jack Johnson. Look at the glow he has about him. You know, like not a care in the world, the heavyweight champion of the world. Look at Anthony Joshua at the time, heavyweight champion of the world, unified champion. Tom Molyneux, uh, no care in the world. Just got his freedom. So we're just gonna go in and talk about their biggest fights, and then, bro, like I said, 300 years of history, and we're just gonna go through it. So let's start with Tom Molyneux. Um, for those who don't know, Tom Molyneux, yeah, was a slave, yeah, on the Virginia plantation. And basically, one of his owners, yeah, got into argument and saying whose slave was better, backwards and forth. And they asked Tom, "Do you want to fight?" And Tom said, he fought a couple of fights in exhibitions, but every time he won, they gave him trinkets, girls, women. They gave him certain things, but for some reason he had no motivation. So the slave master said to him, "Listen, if you win this fight, we're gonna make you free. We give you your freedom. Not only will I give you your freedom, I'll give you like £500, $500." Tom Money just jumped up, perked up. You can imagine how he perked up like the smile of Jack Johnson and said, "Yo, that's good. All right, cool. Where is he? Show me who he is." So obviously the two slave masters they found a place, and Tom Moon proceeded to whoop that slave. Not only that, he was whipping other slave masters' slaves around the plantation in America. That he was the best in America. He beat all the slaves, all the great fighters in America who had the slave owners at the time. And basically became very good. Became very, very good. And actually, before he actually was there was an English trainer, English boxer actually came over from Bristol, and the slave master paid him to train Tom Money to tune up his styles. But when he did finally fight to get his freedom, he was so overly matched the guy that he became, or you can say, the first American champion. The first American champion. So what he did with being the first American champion, and now obviously Sloman kept his agreement, gave him $500, gave his papers, and said, "You're free." Yo, Tom said, "Yo, see ya, and I wouldn't want to be ya," and he was out the door, boy. It's literally jumped. He fought a couple of ambitions before he left, and then finally set seat to come to England, where it was a bit more, slavery wasn't there. He could spend his money, and England's cold and stuff like that, but he wouldn't be harassed so much. England was a bit more looser, right? In England them days there. So he comes to England, and there's a guy called Bill Richmond. Bill Richmond was a former slave who got his freedom. He's a guy who basically is quite prominent in there. He got his own gym. So obviously, Tom Molyneux comes down there, finds the boxing gym to keep himself in shape, and he realized, yo, this guy's pretty good. This guy's pretty good, and he's thinking, you know what I mean? Like we can do something. So he sets exhibition up for him to fight one of the other guys around in the area, and he proceeds to whip. And then Bill Richmond says, "Yo, I could do something with you. If I teach you this, teach you that. You know what I mean? You can be up." But he obviously Tom Molyneux, he had a portion for women and drinking, and obviously he just got his freedom. He's just enjoying himself, man. But Bill Richmond said that the best guy at the time was the British champion was Tom Cribb. Tom Cribb was at a perceived as one of the greatest fighters at the time. What year are we talking about? So we need to go back so people get a history lesson of what year we talking about here. So we're talking back in. Where we at? Where we at? Okay, yeah, we're talking back in the 1800s, right? In the 1800s, so this may be 1809, 1808, wherever, right around that time. So he perceived to what's his name again, Bill Richmond, that Tom Cribb would be a good fight. Tom Cribb is enjoying himself, and he beat everyone, all the best comers at the time. So he said, like, they offered the fight for me. He said, I don't need to fight. I'm good. So then what Bill Richmond said, he said, boy, well, Tom Molyneux is the best fighter in the British Isles. and he beat everyone. He's the best fighter in America. Now he's the best fighter in England because Tom Cribb doesn't want to fight him, and that was enough to get Tom Cribb to yo. People say yo, that caused him to perk his ears up and say yo, let's get it on. So they agreed to fight in Shelton Hallow. Where's the location? Shelton Hallow. Where in the area, man? I don't even know where Shelton Hallow is, man. I don't know what bloody. I need to check. Let me see what area that is, man. I've never heard of that place, Shelton Hallow. Where the frig is that? Okay, where's Shelton Hallow? Okay. Oxfordshire. Okay, they fought in it's the big strip of Shadwell region in southeast England. That's where they fighting at, man. Where you fighting with in the sticks, man? So that's that's where they agreed to fight out in the sticks in Oxfordshire in Shadwell. That's where that area is, man. I don't know why you want to fight, or why you want to fight out there in the sticks. So they agreed to fight. Until they how the rules were. It's like until the last man, until the guy says he doesn't want no more. And so they agreed to fight on the 3rd of December, 1810. Remember that date. And in the fight, Tom Molineaux was a close fight back and forth. The crowd are getting anxious, even to the point because around that time, Napoleon actually bet money down on Tom Molineaux actually to win. So there was a lot of people wagering big bets and money on it. And in the fight, the fight was going back and forth, and boy, apparently, right, Tom Molineaux landed one big shot, big right, I don't know, right hand, left hand, landed on Tom Cribb's jaw, and he went down. Everyone was just silent. They couldn't believe it. And to Tom Molineaux, was like, yeah, that's what's supposed to happen. to all of Cribb's fans, they're like, yo, our great champion is gone down. We're not having it. No way. So now one of Tom Cribb's corner said he's a legal punch had something in his hands, and they started a melee, a back and forth argument. And one of the fans in the background, they must have got a pipe or something, and they just smashed Tom Molineaux's hands, man. They smashed his hands in the melee, and all this time commotion's going on. So Tom Cribb recovers. You know what I'm saying? They recover him, and this thing you have to step up the scratch. So there's a line on the floor, but if the man can't get back up in 30 seconds, then he's counted out. So he recovered in the corner because of the melee. And obviously, Tom Molineaux's hands is messed up. He thought, yo, I'll fight on. I'll continue to fight on. But he realized at this point, Bill Richmond realized that our man's crippled. You know, use your left hand and stuff like that. But boy, listen, it's hard enough to fight, to fight Tom Cribb with both hands. But boy, to fight him with one hand, it's not good. So this fight went on to 35 rounds. And in 35 rounds, Tom Cribb beat and stopped Tom Molineaux by knockout in the 35 rounds. I don't know how they did it by minutes, but I assume the 3 minutes, the Queensberry mark was good. But it's bare knuckle, so I don't think they had 3 minutes. They just let it go until Van Guy got knocked down and stopped as they stopped it. And he lost the fight, Tom Molineaux, sadly. You know what I mean? The leading, you know what I mean? He would have been disqualified. And you remember, Tom Molineaux was the best in America. He brought all the best fighters in terms of the slavery, all the guys who they claimed to him. He came to England, and this is the first title for the British Isles and America to actually go together. And that title went to Tom Cribb. So they fought again, and Tom Cribb wasn't in really. Tom Molineaux was in good shape, and he retained his belt in the. What was that? He retained his belt in 1811, and in 11th round he stopped him much quicker in this round. And obviously Tom Molineaux after that, descended into drinking. The money went. He couldn't fight properly, and he died later on at the age of 34. When he died? He died in Galway. He died in Galway in Ireland, actually. That's where he died, sadly. Penniless as well. It's a shame, but these are the things of boxing. So that's Tom Molineaux story. So let's talk about. So we're gonna move on, right? So basically, we're talking about from 1811, right? 1811. Mark that date down. Now we're gonna move over to. We're gonna skip all the way over to 1910. So that's 100 years gone. 100 years gone. And now we have a black champion. His name is Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson, like Tom Cribb, had the same thing. He wasn't born with a slave now, but his mum was. And he had his freedom, and he learned his way on the railways and learned his stuff from Bill Shawinski, another boxer on the scene, very good at the time. He battled, he actually fought Jim Jeffries and other guys there. And you know, Jack Johnson, him and Jack Johnson, they learned a thing. And Jack Johnson was the Negro heavyweight champion, fought people like Sam Lamford and other people notable like him. And at this time, yeah, there was Jack Johnson said to himself, you know what, I'd love to be the heavyweight champion of the world, which at the time there was no color champion, as we know. You know what I'm saying? Because the last guy we know was 100 years before was Tom Molineaux. And you know what I'm saying? I think at some point, maybe it's weird that near over 100 years, practically, that another guy will be challenging for the heavyweight championship of the world. In fact, when he beat Tommy Burns, okay, where's Tommy Burns out here? Okay, I'm going that way. Okay, when he beat Tommy Burns, that was 1908, right? When he beat Tommy Burns, boy, that was the first time another guy, because Peter Jackson tried for it, but obviously unsuccessful. But another American won the belt this time, yeah, challenged for the belt. It was a long time, like I said, we're talking about near 100 years now before someone challenged for the belt. And what he did was unusual, almost like what Tom Molineaux, Bill Roachman did, declared himself that this guy, he chased after Tommy Burns around the world. Tommy Burns said he didn't want to fight. At the time, people didn't want to fight black colored fighters. Maybe they heard of Tommy Cribb. I'm not too sure, but they didn't want to fight colored fighters. Maybe they thought it was beneath them. In any case, Jack Johnson declared himself. I said he wanted that belt, and also Jack Johnson. You know, at the time he wasn't popular. He had a lot of white marriages. In fact, he married a lot of white women who made him they called him undesirable. Nickname, the Golden Smart, because he had gold teeth in his mouth. Anyway, so he decided to chase after Tommy Burns around the world. Tommy Burns went here to France and England, and Jack Johnson was right behind him, saying, and ringside, purchased a seat with his money, because he purchased money on some of the fights he won, sat ringside with his wife, and he kept on abusing Tommy Burns. So eventually, in what's it called in thingy? What's it called in Rush Cutters Bay in Australia? Rush Cutters Bay in Sydney, Australia. Tommy Burns said, "Yeah, okay, I'll give you the shot." They put enough money. At the time, John O'Sullivan was upset. Shame on you, Tommy Burns, for even giving Jack Johnson a shot at the title. Why would you even give it? Because you know, it's he's another one. John O'Sullivan shut out black fighters at the time. But you know what I'm saying? After Tom Cribb, I can see why. But anyway, Jack Johnson got his title shot, and in round 14, yeah, he beating down Tommy Burns, and it was actually on film. You can check it out on YouTube. The cameraman stopped the camera because they didn't see a white man fall on the ground. And then there was race riots after the fight. But hey, Jack Johnson came back to Chicago where he purchased capital, the Champion. That club later on became the Cotton Club. And people come back as a champion, and you know he beat. Obviously, it wasn't so much as he beat because beat the white man. It was just like them times the boxer was big, but it was like, you know, it's like he's a champion. You know, white people like Jack Johnson. You know, he wasn't, and like Tom Cribb, they liked him as well. But you know, because of the way the things were at the time, they didn't like him. So anyway, he stopped Tommy Burns in the 14th round, and now here comes the race. So we're going. It almost, in fact, yeah, it was, when was he fought? When did Tom Cribb fought? Tom Molineaux fought Tom Cribb in December, yeah, 18th, 10th, right? And Jack Johnson fought James J. Jeffries on July the 4th, 1910. So that's actually, you know, more or less 100 years, give or take a couple of months. Well, December, July, you know what I'm saying, months. But 100 years, exactly, 100 years and some months since in Reno, Nevada. And how that fight came about is the same thing. Like Tom Molineaux, Jim Jeffries was the retired champion, like Tom Cribb. And he's on his alfalfa farm. And people say, this Jack Johnson, new champion. And like, you know, he's doing this, he's a disgrace, and the white man is to come back and get the belts back. And he's like, yo, whatever, man. He's cool. He's like, yo, man, I'm cool in my alpha farm. I don't really see. They said, you got to do it for the white race. They offered him percentage of Jack Johnson's money and money himself. He said, "Yo, okay, I'll do it." So he did it. So he got himself into shape, good shape. All the great champions at the time, the champions, Jim Corbett and Jack Sullivan, all giving their wishes. They didn't really like each other, but they gave their wishes, their best wishes. Hopefully, he could bring back the championship to so-called America, or make America great again. Bring it back. Jim Jeffries can bring back the title, and a lot of states will look at to host the fight. But Reno and Nevada said, yeah, we'll do it down here. So they said, yeah, because they bring some popularity, and people came there, and like I said, the footage is on YouTube. And the fight is approximately 15 rounds and 45 seconds. No, yeah, 15 rounds. Is it 15 rounds? Yeah, 15 rounds. What's this? Oh, 15 rounds and 45 seconds. Why has he got two? Okay, 15 rounds in 2 minutes. That's not in the 15th round. Yeah. Oh, it's scheduled for 45 rounds. It was scheduled for 45 rounds. Yeah. Jack Johnson stops Jim Jeffries in the 15th round in the minute of 2 minutes and 20 seconds in the 15th round. So basically, just basically the start of the 15th round. He knocked him down multiple times, 3 times, and the first black guy officially on record, yeah, even though he was to beat the belt of Tommy Burns, to become the first black heavyweight champion of the world. Even though that should have gone to Tom Molineaux, the spirit of Tom Molineaux must have passed into Jack Johnson, and there you go. Jack Johnson becomes the heavyweight champion after beating one of the great champions in the line with Tom Cribb, as regarded as the great champion of the day, and he becomes the great champion. After that, Jack Johnson defended the belts against other people, but I'll keep it there. The date is very significant because it's 100 years since Jack Johnson, even though he lost the belt later on, and he died in a car crash later on. You can read it now. But I'm more significant with a guy, Jack Johnson, of what he overcome to get to that point. Like I said to you, none of these people, Jack Johnson and Tom Molineaux, was never given anything to them. They had a hard roadship. And the way they dealt with things, dignity and grace, to get themselves to the title, to put themselves on the map to be that guy. From 100 years from Tom Molineaux to 100 years down the line to Jack Johnson. And now we're going to move on to the next 100 years now. We're moving down to Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, yeah, in the mold of Tom Molineaux, in the mold of Jack Johnson, the same big, muscular, good-looking, and Jack Johnson at the time was good-looking, and Tom Molineaux, good-looking young man. Yeah, they put themselves in the position, yeah, to get the belt. Jack Johnson, so they say Anthony Joshua, come from a background housing estate. He was into nefarious stuff when he was young, drugs and selling drugs and stuff. But you can see the potential. His cousin Benger, actually played basketball, actually got himself into amateur boxing, featured ABC. Oh, okay, 1 second. Got a phone call here. Yes, Jamal.
What's going on, Coach? You good,
yeah? Yeah, what's happening, bro?
Yeah, I said, Errol, can you meet me near that roundabout?
What roundabout?
The one near, like, PC Road.
That's far, bro. What am I getting down there for?
Where do you live?
Bro. Hey, Jamal, come down, bro. Just meet me at Tesco's, bro. Because I'm doing recording right now. Come meet me at Tesco's, yeah?
Oh, yeah. All right, cool.
All right, bro. All right, sorry about that. All right. So, anyways, yeah. Anthony Joshua, like Jack Johnson. I'm gonna move on. So yeah, come housing estate, getting into trouble, drug selling, and his cousin Benger said, yo, bro, like rather than do this stuff, yeah, why don't you come down to the boxing, the local boxing gym? You know what I'm saying? And let's learn some boxing. He's like, no, because I remember my friend was one of my friends' uncle was saying that he came down to the football pitch. He used to watch football, but he never used to participate. Joshua was like one of them guys that used to watch it, but he never was like, I can't bother. He probably didn't want to embarrass himself, like Joshua. But with the boxing, yeah, he quickly started to get gain momentum and started to learn it and say, yo, this is all right. Under Sean Murphy over there, who fought for, I think it was for a world title, European title at the time. starting to progress, and starting to see things. And next thing you know, Joshua's doing it right, and then he actually came to where Joshua was this, the selling drugs and doing what he was doing, having vice of that. They found some stuff in his locker room, and the police found him, and the GB actually vouched for him. So listen, he's a good kid, the sponge of his record, and actually he had a tag on his leg for a while in Watford. He couldn't come back to Watford because he's up to no good. And GB said, listen, this kid's okay. You just need to straighten yourself out and let's work in it with Robert McCracken. And Joshua straightened out himself. Okay, I'm going to dedicate myself. He used to go to Don Charles' gym. Don Charles had a gym in Finchley, train with him. And he just kept himself off the road and just kept himself on a straight and narrow and work dedicated. As his body developed, as you can see, with Benga, they work in the gym, in boxing training, and you can see him in the European Games. Actually, barely novice, got himself into the finals, but he lost. He got a silver medal in the Olympics and the World Games in his weight category. A couple of years later, in 2012, Josh was fighting for the gold medal in London, home court. Hey, listen, you nearly pulls the gold medal. Now the kid's on the road. Eddie Hearn's on the road, just started. His client was Audie Harrison, the one of the top promoters. Said, hey, listen, this kid's okay. Let's build him. Let's start building him. And the rest is history in terms of Joshua building his thing. Now, the date I'm talking about is the 29th April 2017, where Joshua and Wladimir Klitschko are fighting. They're fighting for the IBF Joshua beat of Charles Martin and the vacant WBA and the IBF belt. And also, don't say just basically the unified champion of the world. Wladimir Klitschko, like Tom Molineaux, like Tom Cribb, like Jim Jeffries, was not really undefeated, was a long reigning 10-year champion. Even though he was deframed by Tyson Fury, no one really put him down for 10 years, knocked him down for 10 years. He wasn't down for 10 years. The last guy knocked him down, probably Sam Peterson. He revenged that victory, right? So Tyson Fury, beat him and got his belts. But people still consider him as a formidable test. Wladimir hasn't been down, Joshua maybe lacking experience, and they were meant to put one of the greatest fights ever seen in the British Isles for many years since Henry Cooper and Muhammad Ali in the heavyweight division. Frank Bruno, Tim Witherspoon, Lennox Lewis versus Frank Bruno. What an epic fight that was. Joshua goes down, Klitschko goes down, Klitschko goes down again, and Joshua in epic fashion, where in the way he finished Klitschko, epic with his huge uppercut, he lands and becomes the unified champion over a long reigning great champion in the year of 2017. This is over 100. Johnson won the belt in 1910, almost like 100 years and 7 years to the date that a new champion arrived. And their similarities are they're very friendly. Jack Johnson, Tom Molineaux, all friendly, muscular, good looking, great with the women, all of them. They think basically it's like as they're on this planet, they can get what they want. And the similarities there. So that's 300 years of history of boxing. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Everyone's saying in the chat. I hope you guys enjoy. It was Habitat there, isn't it? Okay, what we saying? Richmond Molineaux's great fight. Yeah, exactly. Habitat covering that. DJ Boss. Yeah, you have no idea, but keep educating us and giving Spencer Fearing a run for his money. School history. Yeah, favorite season topic. Rounds lasted until someone, exactly. That's until someone drops. Absolutely. You guys, give me a favor, thumbs me up, man. I appreciate it, man. Give me a thumbs up. Like I said to you, these guys were likable. Tom Molineaux, Jack Johnson, Anthony Joshua, the most likable blood boxer. Interesting to see where you're going with this. Yeah, they all have the same spirit. All of them. Tom Molineaux, even though, and the thing is, the American, because I know I could have put Wilder in the category, but the reason why I didn't, because I put the great champion for them to match up. Tom Molineaux went against Tom Cribb, one of the greatest British champions at the time. Yeah, Napoleon Bonaparte put money on Tom Molineaux to win. Jack Johnson, went against Jim Jeffries, the greatest undefeated champion, never lost. Right there, Jack Johnson went, and then Joshua went against Klitschko for a decade, never been down for a decade, and he was still regarded as the man. So these are great feats that these guys are putting on. But because their history, the way they are, look at them, they're all smiley, good looking, in their peak. I believe in essence, yeah, their essence carries on 10 years, 100 years down the line. And Joshua has the same thing. Can Joshua come back from his loss? Or really, does he have the same thing like Tom Molineaux, where he's achieved so much and it's like, I'm not really bothered. We'll find out. Yeah, but in essence, yeah, these guys created and beat some of the greatest champions. And Klitschko Joshua fight was the biggest fight, probably since Jeffries, and got so many people involved. I mean, I was there. I was there at the weigh-in. I was there at the weigh-in for the Joshua fight, and the Klitschko fans descended down, and they were looking for Klitschko to win. They were praying for Klitschko to win. I made sure I put my pennies in and booed Klitschko when he came up there. Mr. Bashir was there, and it was all set for with all the experience that Klitschko had around him. Joshua's spirit, like Jack Johnson, like Tom Molineaux, overcame this time. And you know what? For Jack Johnson and Anthony Joshua, boy, Tom Cribb, yeah, even though he should have been the first ever heavyweight champion at the time. So I thought I'd give the comparison. I hope you guys appreciate blood boxing. Big up to you in the chat. Big up to Hackletype and all historians. Yeah, the spirit of, and remember, you got 300 years gap in between these men. So 300 years, as you see, it seems like nothing, but the spirits are there, man. And salute to all these great champions coming through. If Anthony Joshua and Wilder fight, there will be another great fight. That fight will probably be on the line of maybe Jack Johnson versus Sam Lamford, Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder in that thing. You know what I'm saying? In that vein, two great champions of color putting it together and getting a fight. Evander Holyfield versus Mike Tyson. Evander Holyfield versus Riddick Bowe. Evander Holyfield versus Lennox Lewis in that mold, and you know, we continue, but there's similarities. You know how much they similarities. I mean, these guys are so actually similar. The way they can attract women, the way they look, they have a glow about them. Just born for greatness. And maybe in the next 100 years after Anthony Joshua, we might get another one. You don't know. How old was Sam when he fought Jack Johnson? I'm not too sure, but he was game. And that fight, both news reporters had. If you go to some news article, they got Sam Lamford winning, and you go to other news, they got Jack Johnson winning. So it depends who you read the article on, but that was an epic fight. I'm EJ Boxing Live. I have to go now, but you guys keep talking in the comment section. I appreciate it, and we keep talking this boxing thing, man. You guys salute. Take care of yourself. Peace.